What's up, Splash Squad? If you're watching this, that means Curry has officially broken Ray Allen's record of 2,973 made threes. So now that brings up the debate. Is he the best point guard of all time? The debate of greatest point guard of all time has been talked about for years in the NBA and will be discussed for years to come. The point guard position is one of the most impactful and important on the court. Being the first one to touch the ball and being the one who decides the play means you can make or break a team and other players' careers. You can be great, but also be great at making others great. That's one reason Jason Tatum has received criticism. Even with him dropping 40 a night, he only averages about 4 assists, while Curry can drop 40 to 50 while still having 6 to 7 assists. In my opinion, the debate of GOAT point guard comes down to 3 players. That's Steph Curry, Jerry West, and Magic Johnson. Let's break them down one by one and then compare them. First, we'll start out with Magic Johnson. He's a player that probably most people would compare with Curry. Magic Johnson's impact on the game is unmatched. His rivalry with Larry Bird practically saved the league from going under. Magic Johnson was an expert at creating plays and was able to play any position on the floor. And I mean any position. One reason Magic was called Magic is because he was 6'9" as a guard, which is pretty big, especially for back then. This meant in his rookie season in the finals, Magic stepped in to play the center position. Yeah, he went from point guard to center in a day. By showing his ability to play any position on or off the ball, Magic Johnson earned a Finals MVP that year, in his rookie season, still holding the title for youngest Finals MVP. What made Magic Johnson great was his playmaking. We discussed before how impactful point guards are because of this. Magic Johnson wasn't known necessarily for draining threes like Curry, but he could cross up or post up any defender and score fast breaks like it was nobody's business. His ball handling ability and ability to switch hands with the ball meant he could break any defense, and if he ever did get in a bind, he could always pass the ball off the bounce he created and still make a play to a teammate. In the time Magic played, he won 5 championships, 3 Finals MVPs, 3 regular season MVPs, 2 All-Star MVPs, 12 All-Star appearances, and many other awards. Remember, this is also the time of players like Dr. J, Larry Bird, Hakeem, and many other fantastic players that would have put up a fight for these awards. Next is Jerry West. I don't have much to say about him because his time was over 50 years ago. But Jerry West was known for hitting shots from the perimeter and nicknamed Mr. Outside because of it, averaging about 25 to 30 points a game each season. Now the difference here is that Jerry West didn't have a 3-point line. He was already hitting shots from the perimeter and scoring in the 30s. Where would he have been with the added arc? Now Jerry West is only 1-8 in finals appearances, winning only 1 championship. So then why is he so great? Well, this was an era that not only had Wilt and Russell to compete with, but also teams were basically set in stone in the 60s. There was basically no free agency or trades. You signed with your team and played there till you retired. People even now claim players like Damian Lillard or Cat have little help. Now imagine if that team stayed the same for the next 10 years. Jerry West was also a great defensive player and named an All-Star every year he played. It would have been crazy to see where he would be at with an added arc or with different teammates. Then, of course, there's Steph Curry. Curry has changed the way the league plays. 3-point attempts since Curry was drafted have only been increasing and have nearly doubled in that time. This has caused many teams to also scout out snipers, making the league 3-point percentage also rise. But even with the league 3-point percentage rising, nobody in the league has ever been able to score like Curry, having countless 40, 50, and even 60-point games and short time in between them. Curry has 3 championships, 7 All-Stars, 2 MVPs with the only unanimous MVP, and now, if you're watching this video, has broken the 3-point record. He also helped lead the Warriors to break the win-loss record with a 73-9 run. So now, he's in the conversation for who's better. Each of these players have their own strengths. Magic Johnson, ball handling and playmaking, Steph Curry, shooting and scoring, and Jerry West, defense and an all-around player. We can say Magic Johnson is one of the best playmakers of all time, Curry is the best shooter of all time, and Jerry West is the logo for having it all. Stephen A. Smith and Max recently debated this, with Stephen A. Smith of course having a controversial take, saying that Magic was great because he had players like Kareem, but Curry also had people like KD and Clay, while Jerry West had Wilt and Elgin Baylor. The addition of other players on a team has always been a silly argument to count people out for me. Then, there's the debate between eras. As we said, there was no three-point line in West era, but there was also less defense. Magic had one of the most physical leagues, and Curry plays in the modern era. It's a similar argument for Wilt, MJ, and LeBron, all three different eras with three different ways of playing. To be completely honest though, I think this debate is more between Magic and Curry. Many more articles, videos, and blogs have been made about comparing these two rather than Jerry West, because Jerry West was such a distant past player. However, I included him in this video because his accomplishments shouldn't go unnoticed and he is still in the conversation. But public opinion has narrowed it down to Magic and Curry, so we'll compare them more closely than West. Jerry West himself has also commended Curry, saying how good of a player Curry is. Jerry West had high numbers when he played, and the Lakers never missed a finals appearance with him on the roster. But again, this was the 60s. Curry has had more of an impact on the floor and has the advantage in shooting. But many have said that Curry is simply West with a three-point line, like in this article. We can also see how Basketball Real GM compares them here, with West leading in both total and per game stats, while Curry leads in shooting and winning percentage. The same comparison is also made by Land of Basketball. Then we compare Curry to Magic, one of the most heated conversations in basketball. Fadeaway World says that Curry only leads Magic in outside scoring, and Magic beats Curry in every other category. And I sort of agree. As we said, Curry is the best shooter, but that may not make him the best point guard. However, one of the reasons Magic is so credited in other categories like defense is simply only because of his height. Magic Johnson was 6'9" and great at defense simply because when he defended guards at 6'2", all he had to do was throw his hands up, and he was about the same size as other big men, so he was able to defend them as well. Ben Simmons, while he is in hot water this season, has the same height, playing the same position, and has similar success being on the Defensive Player of the Year ladder a couple times and making strides in his defensive game. Magic leads in every category besides points and three-pointers. Even with Curry beating the three-point record, I have to give a very slight edge to Magic in the GOAT point guard debate. But I can see arguments for Curry. I know CJ Hoop Talks was also debating this heavily on his Instagram story before I made this video and before Curry broke the record. So I can imagine he'll make a similar video soon, either solo or critiquing my video, so go check him out. He was also very strongly defending Magic's side, but let me know what you think. I know NBA fans are very split on this debate and probably will be for the rest of time, so let me know who you think is better and why. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.